To create a vault, go to the Vault tab and follow the step-by-step wizard. Select New Vault and give your vault a clever name. Decide whether you want the vault to be in worm mode. Files written to a vault in worm mode become read-only. You might choose this option if you're in a compliance-driven environment and need to protect your data for the long term. The next prompt gives you the option to enable NFS for Unix and Linux operating systems. The default configuration is CIFS access. You can create one online copy of your files on 7200 SATA drives and up to 4 additional copies of the files to nearline RDX SATA drives, offline RDX drives, or to another remote InfiniVault. Typically, you store 1 or more copies of your files in your online and nearline tiers for fast access and retrieval, and you store 1 or more copies in removable cartridges or to a remote InfiniVault for disaster recovery purposes. By the way, if your online tier starts to fill up, InfiniVault can automatically stub the older files and move them to nearline RDX drives, freeing up online storage capacity for new, more frequently accessed files. You can now set your disposition method. This step is all about keeping your data fresh. It determines what happens to the data on the cartridge after its data expiration. Standard delete removes all references to the files, including encryption keys. Secure delete commits a digital override of your data. Use this function judiciously, because once InfiniVault's encryption goes to work, no amount of forensic analysis will bring that data back. Selecting data compression allows you to write more data to your cartridges than the standard cartridge size allows. You can also deduplicate files on a cartridge. Very useful, especially if you have multiple admins. This is a good option if you're rewriting the same files from different folders. Deduplication prevents multiple copies of the same file from needlessly taking up valuable capacity. Offline location fields help you physically locate your cartridges later. With write verification enabled, your data is verified on the drive before it's actually committed to the drive. Cartridge verification allows you to set the system to periodically validate each of the files on your cartridges. If a problem is detected, you can reconstruct that cartridge and save to a new cartridge, so you maintain a full set of your data. InfiniVault has multi-level data integrity verification capability. For every file written to a vault, a hash algorithm is performed to produce a digital fingerprint of that file that is stored inside the InfiniVault. When files are retrieved, the file's current digital fingerprint is compared with the original, verifying that the data is exactly the same as the original write. Finally, you can select how much data will be in nearline capacity on your InfiniVault, as well as which slots you want to use on your InfiniVault. Alternately, you can choose to have the InfiniVault automatically select the slots for you. Once your vaults are set up, you need to create vault folders to begin saving data to your InfiniVault. First, name your vault folder. If you're using a worm vault, select your retention period. If replicating to another InfiniVault, select Replication, then Enable. Then you can devise your disk management strategies. If you want to keep your data on a higher performance online disk, you can optimize your data for fast retrieval by specifying a period of time to keep your data on that disk. Simple as that. If you choose balanced mode, InfiniVault will oversee your disk management strategies for you, monitoring to keep the online disk area around 50% full. And finally, you can select Optimize for bulk migration if you're seeding the vault with a ton of data. The InfiniVault writes the files to the RDX cartridge as they come, then immediately verifies that the data is written to all copies on the cartridge, and then reduces the file to a 4K pointer. Review the summary to make sure the policies and procedures are desired.